Okay, so as you know, this is June 19th, 2021. We are in a waxing gibbous moon phase, and we all know that waxing moons mean new beginnings, plans, layouts of ideas, beginning ideas, working on things so that they can come to fruition. So, I'm going to just do a basic Celtic cross, the way I learned it, of course, with the Spellcaster's Tarot. This is a tarot deck published by Llewellyn, and it is by Melanie Marquise, I hope I'm pronouncing that name correctly, and Scott Murphy. A link to Llewellyn's site for this deck is provided below. Also, per Llewellyn's discussions, they asked that we provide a warning that there are fake decks everywhere online, so when you go to buy a deck, please be sure you are getting the real thing. So, this is a reading for you to consider if you are starting new things or if something is new in your life and the direction in which it's going. Significator, the moon reversed. Do not be afraid of the darkness. You've got the moon to light your way. Just don't be afraid of the darkness. You've got the moon to light your way. The Four of Wands, and as we all know, wands are power. Often 4 is going to symbolize a union of some sort, whether it is marriage or divorce. This is clearly a hand fasting that we see here. It's very positive energy, lots of oranges and yellows, and a very positive union, working relationship, loving relationship. So if there's like a new relationship or something, regardless of its type, that's a good thing. The obstacle, Knight of Pentacles. Clearly, she is a very, very strong character, very strong-willed, speaking of wands, but there's that pentacle. Pentacles always speak to issues of money and groundedness, possessions, earthiness, that this is an obstacle, such a positive card is an obstacle. Consider how money or possessions might be getting in the way, whether it's possessions you need to buy, whether it's, to make things better or for things to work out, or perhaps it's a sharing of resources. So that's the obstacle. And whenever you're dealing with a knight, you are dealing with a fairly strong-headed person, regardless of gender and so on. I'm going to move this up a little. Deep roots. Deep roots is what you go to every time in your life. It's a pattern or a habit, a pattern of behavior. We have yet another major arcana here, the Emperor. The Emperor is very strong male energy. This represents a lot of growth. This represents a lot of authority. So there is that as well. You'll notice in the background of this card, there are fields burning. And that can be a sign of the power and the energy of male virility, because you realize we've got a kind of a horn god figure. We have a bull at his side. Consider that you take control. You take control of things when you are working on a project or when you are beginning in some sort of relationship, and that's a good thing. I don't see the fire as a negative thing in this image. Often we have to burn to reignite. All right, recent past. The Eight of Cups. There's been some fear of, what you've left behind. Loss, mourning loss, Uh, and that may actually be getting in the way. Whatever has happened in the past, it's probably best that it stay in the past, but there seems to be a lot of looking back and mourning. In the present, Eight of Pentacles. These eights are very interesting. With the Eight of Pentacles, you have, well, progress. Progress on a project of some sort. As you can see in this image, it's this guy's literally building a doghouse out of stone in the rain, and so it is protection. So there may be something here where you realize no matter how good things are, no matter how good things feel, there are certain precautions that you need to take, and just by virtue of one being Pentacles, but two, it seems to relate back to this Knight of Pentacles. If there are precautions or contracts, things to sign, like let's say it has to do with the contract, this new beginning, it is not beyond the pale, and it is not unreasonable to say, okay, I want a lawyer to check this out first, that sort of thing. Okay, near future, yeah, so the Knight of Swords, yet another knight. Whenever we're dealing with swords, the face cards, knights or kings, these are often legal matters, but it's upright. So that says to me you are doing the right thing. Also, again, a knight, this is someone who is quite willing and quite powerful to do the work necessary. That's just kind of the court card personality. So, your self-concept, Hierophant. You do consider yourself to be a leader or a teacher. And you realize that there's balance in that, both discipline as well as spoiling. I think what's most striking about this image is that in one hand, this authority figure holds a whip, and in the other, holds a gift. And it seems that there will be takers on all sides, and you just will have to deal with that. This is now, like your third major arcana as well. So that's a certain amount of potency in this reading. All right, the next one is the Ten of Pentacles reversed. And that's in your hopes and fears. This is very much, anytime the image is clearly neighborliness with good fences, but well-established home and those positive energies. Reversed, I would say that your hopes and fears, it's out there, you just don't want to screw up in how you go about getting that happiness and that fulfillment. And again, this is going back to, it's linking all of these pentacles. It seems that one way or another, regardless of the relationship type, regardless of the project, there is clearly an economic, financial element to it. And I refer back to this Eight of Cups. Some things have happened in the past that have made you very upset, and have destabilized, whether it's in finances or in love or anything. And you just don't want to make that mistake again. You don't want, to fall off the horse again. I suppose that's a terrible way of putting it. But your hopes and fears, you hope for the best. Your fear is that bad outcome for happiness and prosperity being overturned. Well, you're never going to have it if you don't pursue it. So remember, this is hopes and fears. This is a what-if scenario, and you just need to move forward. Final outcome, the King of Pentacles. And this is a really beautiful card. And King, riches, he has this link to the Emperor as well. So this is your way of, you're going to be fine. Whatever this plan is, whether, again, regardless of the emotions, whether it's a romantic relationship, a business relationship, a new project, creative, business, you're going to come out on top. The King of Pentacles, all kings, especially if they're upright, are very good symbols. They are male leaders. And as I said, they do have that link to the sort of primordial emperor of the major arcana. So it's masculine dominant energy, but it's giving. This person sits very, very openly, and the willingness to give is quite strong. I think that ultimately this is very good. Don't be afraid. Going back to that significator, don't be afraid. The light of the moon is guiding you, and you should do quite well. And remember, basically nothing ventured, nothing gained. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a great evening.